A lion's most ferocious attacks do not begin with a roar, but with a moment of silence, a time when everything hangs in a precarious balance. On the savannah, the slightest miscalculation in distance or timing can turn the tide in mere seconds. So, in those tense moments, what truly determines who ultimately holds the upper hand? Across the vast grasslands of Tanzania, hyenas inhabit open environments where long-range visibility allows the clan to observe their surroundings and coordinate effectively. Weighing between 40 and 80 kilograms, with some individuals exceeding 90 kilograms and possessing powerful jaws capable of a bite force of approximately 100 psi. They are well equipped to crush bones and efficiently utilize food sources. Their high stamina enables them to travel long distances across open terrain, a trait that also frequently places them within the sights of lions. While the clan was feeding on a carcass, a male lion appeared at the edge of the area before they could relocate. He kept his distance, closely tracking the clan's movements and waiting for a clear opening. Seizing a gap, the lion charged in swiftly and pinned down one individual, instantly shifting the dynamics of the encounter. In response, the clan scattered but quickly regrouped, circling the lion and applying constant pressure to support their fellow member. The lion held his ground without advancing further, but mounting pressure from multiple directions forced him to loosen his grip. The captured hyena was freed from the initial hold, and the situation gradually transitioned into a retreat. As the encounter concluded, the advantage shifted through various stages. The lion maintained his ground through his initial positioning and strength, while the hyenas minimized losses through collective action. A survival balance was maintained, with neither side able to hold the upper hand for more than a brief moment. In the African savannas and grasslands near water sources, buffaloes roam vast territories, requiring frequent access to water to regulate their body temperature. Weighing between 500 and 900 kilograms, with some individuals exceeding a ton, they possess thick horns that form a frontal shield, allowing them to hold their ground when necessary. Their powerful necks and shoulders generate immense force, making a successful approach possible only when the herd's formation begins to shift. When a gap appears in the formation, a male lion stays low beneath a fallen tree, watching the herd approach the water. He does not move immediately, but waits for an individual to fall out of sync, then closes the distance with short, stealthy steps. Once close enough, he makes a rapid move to pin down a target, steadily restricting its room to maneuver. As space narrows, the prey's ability to react diminishes because the safety of distance is lost. The lion maintains a firm position and control until the prey can no longer move. The outcome is decided quickly, and the resulting nourishment becomes a vital factor for survival. From this encounter, the difference in how each side maintains its advantage becomes clear. Buffaloes rely on size and the ability to hold their ground, whereas lions rely on timing and distance to create opportunities. This exchange of energy sustains a survival balance, with each side holding the upper hand for only brief moments. Not every confrontation on the savannah involves prey. Sometimes, predators must face one another directly to assert territorial dominance. The open terrain allows for long-range observation, while powerful shoulder and foreleg muscles provide a distinct advantage in close-quarters combat. As the two males approach, the gap closes rapidly, and tension mounts before the initial clash erupts. At close range, both stay low and circle each other, constantly adjusting their positions to find a tactical advantage. Neither rushes to strike, yet the tension escalates with every step. When the moment arrives, they lunge almost simultaneously, using their forelegs and body weight to grapple, pin, and shove their opponent, forcing each to attack while struggling to maintain balance amidst the relentless collision. After repeated clashes, the pace of movement slows, and signs of exhaustion become evident. One lion begins to retreat, creating a gap that shifts the dynamic of the encounter. The other holds his ground and retains control of the territory, though he bears numerous wounds. The outcome reveals that maintaining the upper hand comes at a significant cost to both combatants. In the open savanna, interspersed with light woodland near water sources, impalas select a habitat that balances visibility with cover. They avoid areas that are either too dense or too exposed, maintaining a herd formation and quickly identifying potential threats. Their ability to remember danger zones, combined with almost instinctive coordination, helps them maintain a steady distance, yet it is precisely this stability that eventually draws the herd into a lion's line of sight. Lying low in the grass, the lioness does not rush. Instead, she tracks every movement of the herd. She waits for a slight lapse at the periphery before beginning to close the gap with short, stealthy steps. Once close enough, she launches a sudden burst of speed, bringing an impala within striking range as the surrounding space rapidly contracts. This compression of space makes maintaining distance difficult, and the dynamic of the encounter shifts almost instantly. The impala repeatedly changes direction in a bid to escape, but its movements lose their rhythm and stability. The lioness holds her position and maintains control until the trap closes, sealing the outcome in a matter of moments. Across the vast grasslands and semi-arid regions of Kenya, African wild dogs roam in packs through a landscape of open spaces interspersed with scrub, where long-range visibility facilitates constant coordination. They communicate via high-pitched vocalizations and body language, anticipating movement directions and adjusting their positions relative to one another. This organizational style maintains steady spacing while also allowing for moments when the pack formation becomes staggered or fragmented. As the formation begins to spread out, a lion observes from the periphery, maintaining a steady distance. Rather than advancing into the center, it tracks a subgroup at the edge, waiting for an individual to fall out of sync. Once a clear opportunity arises, the lion closes the gap using short, stealthy steps that utilize available cover, then bursts into a brief sprint to bring the target within striking range. Once the distance has been closed, the pack regroups, signaling and circling to create confusion and divert the predator's attention. However, they maintain a safe distance, unable to intervene directly. The lion holds its ground and retains control over the targeted individual, shifting the dynamic increasingly in its favor. As the situation stabilizes in this manner, the outcome is quickly determined. The wild dogs rely on coordination and anticipation to maintain distance, while the lion capitalizes on timing and positioning to create an opening. The resulting meal sustains the predator while contributing to the ecological balance of survival within the ecosystem. In the open woodlands and savannas of Africa, giraffes roam vast spaces where visibility is extensive. They live in loose-knit groups, constantly shifting their positions to keep danger at bay. This fluidity helps them avoid being cornered, yet it also results in an uneven pace of movement irregularities that eventually draw the attention of lions. Capitalizing on these fluctuations, the pride stays low along the periphery, tracking the herd's movement. They do not charge immediately, but wait for the precise moment to strike. When the opportunity arises, several lions accelerate from the rear, latching onto the giraffe's tail and hind legs and forcing it off course. The animal retaliates with powerful backward kicks, driving some lions back, yet the pressure remains relentless. As the space around it constricts, maintaining balance becomes increasingly difficult with every step. The giraffe struggles on, kicking out while running to create distance, but a weakened leg causes its pace to falter noticeably. Prolonged instability leads to a collapse. The pride instantly seizes control of the situation, and the outcome is sealed in a matter of moments. Once the tide turns, the contrast in how each side maintains its advantage becomes clear. The giraffe relies on vision and reflexes to keep threats at a distance, whereas the lions utilize timing and coordination to sustain pressure. It is this continuous chain of reactions that causes the situation to shift so rapidly. Across the vast grasslands of sub-Saharan Africa, cheetahs move through open terrain where every movement can be observed from afar. Capable of speeds between 95 and 110 kilometers per hour, they rely on open space to maintain a safe distance during short bursts of movement. This advantage holds true only as long as that distance remains stable. Consequently, even the slightest shift becomes critical. From her vantage point, the lioness watches as two cheetahs approach a thicket, keeping her body low and tracking their movement step by step. She does not rush, waiting instead for a clear change in their rhythm. Once the distance is right, she launches into a sudden, short burst of speed, forcing one of the cheetahs off its original path and rapidly closing the gap between them. As the space shrinks in those few fleeting seconds, maintaining a safe distance becomes nearly impossible. One cheetah manages to escape the area, while the other fails to regain its stride. The lioness holds her ground and maintains control until the encounter concludes, an outcome determined in a split second. The most devastating attacks don't follow a fixed pattern, but constantly change with every small deviation in distance and movement. Lions rely not only on strength, but also on their ability to read the situation in a short amount of time. As pressure builds and space shrinks, all options become limited, and the outcome is often predetermined before any chance of reversal. In the harsh savannas of Africa, confrontations rarely begin with noise, but with prolonged silence and observation. Hyenas don't wait for opportunities to appear. They attack proactively when close enough, using pack pressure to control the situation. In a few brief moments, when an opponent slows down even a beat, the situation changes instantly and the outcome is almost decided. Hyenas live primarily on the arid grasslands, vast savannas and semi-desert regions of Africa. When night falls, they silently emerge from the darkness as mysterious rulers of the wilderness. Their eerie laughter echoes in the wind, creating a tense atmosphere. Under the dim moonlight, herds of hyenas patiently patrol, hunting for opportunities to survive in the harsh environment. Hyenas are far more cunning and formidable than many realize. They are not merely scavengers, but highly strategic hunters, working together in packs with incredible precision. Upon spotting prey, the entire pride engages in a relentless, breathtaking chase, exhausting their prey. Their intelligence, extraordinary endurance, and fierce will to survive have made hyenas one of Africa's most fearsome predators. Throughout the East African savannas, zebras congregate in herds in areas of low grass and unobstructed views, where they can easily spot predators, but must also constantly move to find water and food. In the Serengeti, they participate in migrations hundreds of kilometers long, and this open space provides an initial advantage for escape. In the scorching savanna, a pack of hyenas emerges from afar and moves across the grass in search of food. Upon spotting a zebra separated from the herd, they immediately change direction, closing the distance and maintaining a steady pace. When the distance is close enough, the situation begins to change. Having their position revealed, the zebra immediately charges, initiating a breathtaking chase. Despite using speed to escape, its pace gradually wears down under constant pressure. After only a few moments, the distance is close enough for the hyena pack to take control and end the hunt. In the open field, speed only creates initial opportunities. When persistence and coordination are maintained at the right time, the tide quickly turns in favor of the predator. In the savannas and scrublands of Africa, rhinos move in open spaces with low vegetation, foraging and observing their surroundings. In Kenya or South Africa, they move slowly through the grasslands, relying on their large size and horns to keep their distance from any threats. From the edge of the dry, grass-covered clearing, the hyena pack gradually emerged upon spotting a lone rhino moving slowly. They followed at a safe distance, constantly shifting positions to assess the situation, then gradually closing in when they spotted an opportunity, forcing the rhino to turn and defend itself. As the distance narrowed, the hyenas approached from multiple directions and found an opening when the rhino slowly turned. They swarmed in simultaneously, maintaining constant pressure. In just a few moments, the rhino lost its position and was forced to retreat, leaving the hyena pack with the advantage. In East and Southern Africa, wildebeest herds migrate seasonally between regions like the Serengeti, where low grass and ample space allow them to spot predators from afar. However, constant migrations driven by rain and water sources cause many individuals to become separated from the herd, especially when the migration patterns become irregular. On the vast savanna, a lone hyena silently observes every movement on the grass. When it spots a slow-moving antelope behind it, it lowers its body and follows from a distance, maintaining its distance and patiently waiting for the moment its prey lets its guard down. As the distance narrows, the chase begins. The antelope accelerates and changes direction constantly, but the pressure from behind doesn't lessen. After a while, It slows down, forced to turn defensively, and the hyena takes advantage of that moment to close in, control the situation, and win. In a prolonged chase, victory belongs to the one that maintains its rhythm and chooses the right moment. Because if the prey loses its rhythm, the outcome is almost certain. Constant pressure leaves the opponent no chance to recover. And even a moment of slowing down is enough to completely change the course of the game. Amidst the vast savannas of Africa, wild dogs seek out areas with unobstructed views and open spaces to deploy their pack tactics. In places like the Serengeti or the Okavango Delta, they utilize the grassland terrain and wetlands to corner prey, thereby gaining an early advantage. On the dry grass, a pack of hyenas was enjoying their newly acquired food when a pack of wild dogs appeared in the distance. Instead of immediately attacking, they fanned out, moving in wide circles to scout for weaknesses, gradually closing in tense silence. As the distance narrowed, the confrontation shifted to close range. The wild dogs used their speed to try and break through from one direction, but the hyenas immediately counterattacked, locking on to their positions and reacting fiercely. In just a moment, the hyena pack secured their food, forcing their opponents to abandon any attempt to approach. In this encounter, the difference wasn't in individual speed or strength, but in maintaining position and controlling space. Once one side held the initial advantage, the situation quickly stabilized in their favor. In the African savannas, buffalo herds live near water sources, where vast grasslands provide food but also keep them constantly vigilant. They migrate seasonally and often congregate in large groups, relying on collective strength to fend off predators. The hyena pack appeared on the sprawling dry grassland and began observing the grazing buffalo herd. They didn't advance directly, but instead circled around to gauge their reaction. Each small step was calculated until the buffalo's formation began to loosen, revealing a gap behind them. As soon as a young buffalo fell behind, the hyena pack accelerated, applying pressure from multiple directions. Even though the buffalo turned to defend themselves, the gap was broken. The young buffalo was isolated, forced to fend for itself against the relentless pressure, and was quickly subdued, ending the encounter with the hyenas holding the advantage. When facing a large herd, collective strength can provide long-term protection. A single moment of disunity can change the course of events, and whoever seizes the moment will control the outcome. In the open forests and savannas of Africa, leopards adapt to a variety of terrains, from open grasslands to dense woodlands and rocky slopes. They utilize their climbing abilities to drag prey up trees, preventing it from being stolen. And this habit often leads them to encounter hyenas. On the edge of the forest, a leopard had just brought down its prey and was dragging it away when a pack of hyenas began to approach from a distance. They didn't attack immediately, but spread out, closing in step by step and maintaining a steady pace, forcing the leopard to stop and switch to a defensive posture. When the distance narrowed, the hyenas all swarmed in, cutting off the leopard's trail of prey. After a brief struggle, it was forced to abandon its prey and jump into a tree for safety, leaving the hyenas to take its food. In this competition, the ability to retain the prey is more important than winning it. When faced with pressure from an entire pack, even the most agile predator must yield. On the African savanna grasslands, lions choose wide, sparsely vegetated areas near water sources, where prey congregates in large numbers. In the Serengeti, they often hide in tall grass near rivers, utilizing their long-distance vision and open space to ambush and coordinate their hunts, thus almost always having the initial advantage. On the edge of the arid grassland, a pack of hyenas approached a lioness resting after a long hunt. Instead of attacking immediately, they fanned out, constantly shifting positions to apply pressure, sensing danger. The lioness rose and roared in warning, but the hyenas pressed on, using their numbers and coordination to close the distance. When one hyena advanced, the entire pack closed the gap, forcing the lioness to react. Despite counterattacking, her rhythm was disrupted, and she was quickly forced to retreat. The lioness climbed a low tree to avoid being surrounded, while the hyenas took control of the area, closing the encounter with their advantage. This outcome demonstrates that in this confrontation, individual strength is no longer the deciding factor. When the pack maintains pressure at the right time and from the right distance, the tide can turn even against the leading predator. Throughout their encounters in the savanna, hyenas consistently demonstrate a key characteristic: proactive attack, sustained pressure, and precise exploitation of moments when their opponents lose their rhythm. The outcome lies not in individual strength, but in coordination, perseverance, and the ability to choose the right moment to break formations or cut off the enemy's retreat. In this world, a single moment of slowing down can change the course of events. The one who controls the tempo of the confrontation will decide the outcome.